أهلا بكم مشاهدي ايتك عبر قناة الحرة. نحن معكم للأسبوع الثالث على التوالي من هنا من لاس فيغاس، متابعة للتغطية الخاصة والحصرية بايتك لمعرض NAB 2010، المعرض المتخصص بالتقنيات الإعلامية المرئية والمسموعة. مجموعة جديدة من اللقاءات والتقارير بانتظاركم. كالعادة نتواصل دائما عبر بريدنا الإلكتروني itek@alhurra.com. يمكن مشاهدة هذه الحلقة وحلقات أخرى من ايتك في أي وقت على الإنترنت وموقع youtube.com/الحرة. وتابعوا آخر أخبار البرنامج والتقنيات من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على ايتك شو. قبل الدخول إلى قاعات المعرض، ماذا سنشاهد معنا اليوم في ايتك من NAB 2010؟ تقنيات شاشات العرض التفاعلية، برامج تنظيم سير العمل داخل المؤسسات الإعلامية، أهم مواصفات ADOBE Creative Suite 5، تقنيات انتل في القدرات العالية للتخزين، كاميرات التصوير العالي الجودة من الجو، شاشات العرض التفاعلية داخل المؤسسات التلفزيونية تأخذ الكثير من الاهتمام هذه الأيام وتنتشر بشكل كبير، فهي تسهل عملية العرض وتؤمن التفاعل بين المقدم والمادة التي تعرض. للحصول على هذه العملية هناك شاشة لمس وبرنامج تفاعلي يعمل مع هذه الشاشة. لنتعرف معا على شاشة لوميو وبرنامج UI Centric.
We essentially have the technology to take any flat surface and make it interactive. In this case, what we've done is taken our technology and put it into a touch bezel. It's an overlay. We can size to any LCD or plasma from 30 inches to 108 inches. We can also size it for larger displays that might be video walls of LCDs or rear projection up to 300 inches. The technology is a series of cameras. There are only two companies in the world that have intellectual property or patents on this approach. It's called optical sensing. And with optical sensing, we place cameras in the corners of the display. LUMIO is unique in the market with our 4-camera approach. We give you 4 touches. And Windows 7 is the first operating system that really gives us the platform to be able to do that. With the Windows 7 platform and our hardware enables users on a larger screen to be able to do not just 1 or 2 touches, but 3 or 4. So it's www.lumio.com.
Well, we're showing how user interfaces now from the software industry are moving over to the broadcast industry. And things like this, utilizing big touchscreens, we can reduce the cost of on-screen presentations. So this is an example of an election application for a broadcast studio. So in this scenario, rather than the presenter looking off screen and chroma keying it in, they're actually looking at what they're presenting so they can interact with the software. And so we're showing a demonstration here where the presenter can show like the marginal seats of an electorate. They can go in here, they can get some information about the candidates. Maybe they want to zoom in on that guy, see some of his views, maybe show some other information. We can blend 3D elements and to show information visually. Step back in time and show other information. We can also incorporate live feeds into a presentation. So these are our reporters which are outside and we can talk to them. Another one here which is a surveillance product. And this is a real product from 2020 Imaging that we've been working with. And here we're interacting live Bing Maps feeds. You can see there's a police car moving along there. I can bring up some information from that police car, can move around there. We've got some camera feeds. And we can move back in time with that at uicentric.net.
داخل المؤسسات التلفزيونية والإذاعية طريقة سير العمل تؤثر كثيرا على نجاح المؤسسة وأدائها. لذلك يتم ابتكار برامج تسهل سير العمل داخل المؤسسات على صعيد البرمجة وتنظيم المواد لبثها وعرض الإعلانات. في هذا المجال برنامج برودباند الذي عرض هنا بنسخته السابعة والذي يعمل بالتوافق مع ويندوز 7.
main thing we're showing at NAB this year is version 7 of our product. The thing that makes BroadView probably most unique to our competitive solutions is the breadth of what we cover. You can go out today and you can get solutions that will cover programming, traffic, bits and pieces of that puzzle. What we do differently is we integrate all of those aspects together in one single solution. Well, we've got the main toolbar up right now, and aspects of that are very new in the look and feel of it. Our version 7 of BroadView just happened to align numerically with Windows 7, but importantly this interface is very much about Windows 7 and the advances in usability of the software in the interface. So if we look at the scheduler as an example, you'll see that it is a more modern interface within the scheduler. There are better tool sets. You have tools like the ribbon bar that exist in other Microsoft products as an example that provide you better access to all the different tools when you're working with the system. The scheduler is some of the new functionality that we have. Within it, the scheduling is straightforward in the way it's drag and drop ability to put objects onto the schedule. We can expand and open those objects and look at all the metadata that may exist on them if we open the program item itself. So the details on these forms as well have been upgraded. So if we look into the scheduling components, we look at the properties of objects. We can see from the details of the properties, one of the unique aspects of our system is in the multicast tab and the ability to work in a network environment. So you can take scheduling from here and cast it down to in a network environment. So in this example, we've taken it from this primary channel to the secondary channel, and we've cast this program down. So now it's directly in relationship to each other and have, again, incremental improvement in your workflow. And in the traffic items, is we would see all the different aspects of short form content. So from the promos to interstitial elements to fillers and IDs, you can see all different aspects of that. So we've got an ID here as an example. We can open that up and we can work with the metadata of that. So the programming content typically comes from deals that you'll buy and get large content. Most of this interstitial content will be created by users from the promotions department, from the traffic and ad sales departments to really fill in the details of that. So if we go back to the main toolbar for a moment, you can see sort of the breadth of what we work at, from the scheduling tools and working in the high level, from the block programming schedule we saw, from the detailed log to see the individual items that exist, acquiring long form content, working with that long form content, working with the short form content, and then working in the sales side, the ad side, the automation pieces. It's all there in one integrated solution. One of the technologies that we're demonstrating at the show this year is integration, in that if you put a sales order in BroadView, you can get the sales order onto your BlackBerry or onto your iPod, and you can approve the sales order directly on your remote device, and that approval will show directly in BroadView. Our website is www.broadviewsoftware.com.
أدوبي ككل سنة تطلق جديدها في NAB بلاس فيغاس. هذه السنة أيضا أطلقت أدوبي CS5 الجديد، أدوبي كرياتيف سويت 5. سنتعرف معا الآن على المواصفات الجديدة ل CS5 على أدوبي بريمير برو ميركوري، أفتر إيفكت 64 بت، فوتوشوب بميزة كونتنت أوير فيل.
The premiere of CS5 to the world, incredible new innovations across all the products in Production Premium and all the products in Master Collection. So the first thing I wanted to tell you about is our new Mercury playback engine in Premiere Pro. And Mercury is a 64-bit native playback and render engine, allowing you to take advantage of all the RAM in your system. That's really the main benefits of 64-bit. So every piece of RAM you have can be leveraged in the application and for rendering and playback. So what we actually have here in this first timeline is a series of 1080p footage, mixture of 1080p footage, stacked together like this. And you can see we've got the traditional red line. And if we just start playback on this, again, we've got 5 layers of 1080p. You can see that I can go full screen and playback never stops. That's one of the keys of Mercury. Playback never stops. As we continue to play this, you'll see that I can actually change fractional playback resolutions here. Let's go all the way to the 9-layer version here, where we not only have all different types of footage here, but we've also got live keying going on. So we've got our ultra keyer leveraged here. And what I can now do is, you'll see, of course, we still have the red line, because as we begin adding lots of effects to things, 3-way color corrector, sharpening, each clip here has some effects, it can really start to slow things down. So now if we go up to our project panel, settings, general, We're going to go from our software-only mode to now software and GPU acceleration. Again, this is leveraging NVIDIA GPU. Click OK. We're going to delete all preview files. You'll see that it goes yellow. And again, even for this sort of modest system with a mere 16 gigs of RAM, I'm currently going to set the playback at 1/4 res here. But again, we'll set our pause resolution to full, hit play. But the idea, of course, is that you can continue to play this. We can resize it when we stop. Everything sharpens up. Everything's nice and crisp. So the next thing I wanted to show you was in After Effects. One of the really cool things that I want to show you here is one of our great new innovations, and of course Adobe is known for incredible innovation, and that's with this new tool called the Roto Brush. And the Roto Brush allows you to do rotoscoping in a fraction of the time, right? And the greatest thing about this is you don't even have to be terribly accurate to create the first mask. I can actually take my brush like this, draw a basic shape on the character, and the mask is built. Now I can touch up some areas like here, along his jacket. A bit of touch up right here. Now again, traditionally what I would do is I would then go to the next frame and I'd have to redraw all of this. We just did this mask in a few seconds. I can actually hit the space bar, and what you'll see is even as parts of the frame that weren't there before are introduced, it's beginning, it's rotoscoping them, it's tracing them. In Photoshop, we're always used to seeing sort of magical tools, and this feature is called Content-Aware Fill, where in this image we have this gentleman standing against the wall. We've also got this, sort of foliage here on the side, and effectively what we wanted to do is maybe we want to take this character out. Now when we hit the delete key, we're going to go to Content-Aware Filling. Click OK. It's going to analyze all the pixels. Gone. So of course you can go to adobe.com or your local Adobe site.
نتابع مشاهدينا الأسبوع الثالث من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بآيتاك لمعرض NAB 2010، وسنشاهد معا بعد الفاصل تقنيات انتل في القدرات العالية للتخزين، كاميرات التصوير العالي الجودة من الجو. تتابعون آيتاك عبر الحرة والحرة.com ويوتيوب.com/الحرة، وآخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على آيتاك شو. تتابعون آيتاك عبر الحرة والحرة.com ويوتيوب.com/الحرة، وآخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على آيتاك شو. نعود إليكم مشاهدي آيتاك عبر قناة الحرة لمتابعة الأسبوع الثالث من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بآيتاك لمعرض NAB 2010، وسنشاهد معا الآن تقنيات انتل في القدرات العالية للتخزين، كاميرات التصوير العالي الجودة من الجو. ماذا يمكن أن تقدم انتل في معرض التقنيات الإعلامية NAB 2010 بلاس فيغاس؟ انتل عرضت في موقعها الخاص مع شركائها قدرتها في مجال التخزين، والذي يعتبر من أهم الحاجات للمؤسسات الإعلامية. ما هي نظرة انتل في هذا المجال؟ لنتعرف معا.
With all the media and entertainment and content, it's a very storage intensive industry. And so as part of the storage group at Intel, we saw this as a great opportunity to come and showcase our technologies and also our partners' technologies. And so we have a pretty incredible booth here today, a sound studio, automation capabilities, storage facilities, really from some of the most major storage OEMs in the world, IBM, Isilon, Data Direct, HP, etc. So very exciting to show all of Intel's products that really are going into the broadcast industry. So as I said, we have our Westmere processors are Nehalem EX processors, so quad core, greater than quad core with the EX, and our solid state disk drive technologies. Plus we have a new storage processor as well. And we've been working really hard to get Intel architecture, Intel processors into storage systems, and have been doing very well. And what's interesting about the industry and the transformation with high definition content, 3D now, the real rich media files, the amount of storage capacity is expanding, the amount of processor performance and intelligence embedded in the systems are all increasing. And then now you have even a proliferation of types of clients, whether it's a smartphone or a tablet or a notebook. All of those require some level of transcoding to have the final content be streamed or downloaded in order to have an optimal viewing experience by the end user. There's transcoding that's involved, and that takes even more processing power. So we like to see all of this rich, high-definition 3D content because it really showcases and takes advantage of all of the investments we're making in our products. There's no question that solid-state technology, or I like to say non-volatile memory, solid-state drives today are kind of an implementation of that. There's no question in our mind that this is the future for storage in all of the computing platforms. I think it's a question of when, not if, and how do we get the right, cost performance, balance. And certainly costs have been coming down as the volume of these types of technologies go up. We will see that at www.intel.com. And for storage, it's /go storage.
للتصوير التلفزيوني من الفضاء بتقنية عالية وجودة صورة ثابتة، هناك كاميرات خاصة لهذا الغرض ممكن أن توضع أيضا على السيارات. شركة أريال فيلموركس قدمت وعرضت هذا النوع من الكاميرات هنا في NAB لاس فيغاس 2010.
We do filming, operate the camera system, set up the projects, and then we plan for the future as well for other ways that we can take the camera and put it on vehicles. Well, 90% of our work is with the camera system on the helicopter, but what we look for is other ways to take the stabilized camera system and put it on vehicles to have that same type of aesthetic for that floaty kind of feel. It also allows you to do what we call the endless dolly move by putting the camera on a vehicle, and without setting up track, you can just drive continuously and shoot a nice move, and the camera gets rid of all of the high vibration. This is the Cineflex V14. The lens in it is a Fujinon 42-9.7, and we control it with a laptop controller here, so I'm able to totally control the movement of the camera with the joystick. We can also control what we call roll, so I have adjustments for the horizon simply by turning this. And then we have all of the exposure controls for the Sony camera that's inside of it with the Sony paint box. So we can do everything from basic exposure to master black to hyper gamma modes, all within here. While this is outside or on the vehicle, we can be in the vehicle, in the helicopter, or even remote from the vehicle itself. First of all, you can put 4 different lenses into the Cineflex. This one is a Fujinon 42-9.7 lens, and so it has a very long range with just enough wide to get by. The camera inside is a Sony HDC 1500R camera, just upgraded from the L. So now we have much better blacks. The blacks are just beautifully clean, much more cinematographic. And we have so many controls through the paint box that we can now turn, say, the detail off. We can turn the shutter off. We can shoot at 24 or 25 for a very filmic type look. So we're beginning to get more interest from the independent filmmakers to have that cinematographic look, but from the helicopter without having to shoot film. This is the Sony paint box. So we have all the different controls within here, and this essentially runs the camera that's inside of here for in terms of like all the different exposure, our auto white balance, black balance, adjusting the color controls. And then these are gimbal controls that allow us to, to steer the camera itself. Like, if anybody wants more information, we'd go to aerialfilmworks.com.
في الأسبوع الثالث من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بآيتاك لمعرض NAB 2010 بلاس فيغاس، شاهدنا معا اليوم تقنيات شاشات العرض التفاعلية، برامج تنظيم سير العمل داخل المؤسسات الإعلامية، أهم مواصفات ADOBE Creative Suite 5، تقنيات انتل في القدرات العالية للتخزين، كاميرات التصوير العالي الجودة من الجو. إلى هنا مشاهدي آيتاك عبر قناة الحرة نأتي إلى ختام الأسبوع الثالث على التوالي من التغطية الخاصة والحصرية بآيتاك لمعرض NAB 2010، معرض الرابطة الوطنية للإعلاميين المتخصص بالتقنيات الإعلامية المرئية والمسموعة. لضخامة الحدث أيضا الأسبوع المقبل سنلتقي من هنا للمرة الأخيرة مع لقاءات وتقارير جديدة. إلى ذلك الحين نتواصل دائما عبر بريدنا الإلكتروني aitak@alhurra.com. يمكن مشاهدة هذه الحلقة وحلقات أخرى من آيتاك في أي وقت على الإنترنت على موقع youtube.com/الحرة. آخر أخبار التقنيات والبرنامج تابعوها دائما من خلال فيسبوك وتويتر على آيتاك شو. شكرا لكم جميعا، إلى اللقاء الأسبوع المقبل من هنا من لاس فيغاس.